Welcome everybody to Jidaguan and the study of the Tao with Dr. Alex Fang. I know that the last few times we've met, Dr. Fang has been trying to describe the calligraphy for Jidaguan in the air. And I saw a couple of you sitting there going, this connects that, and there's the heaven and the earth, and looking at the Tao and not being able to see it. So I put in his father's writing the calligraphy for Jidaguan in a pamphlet tonight so that you can see what those radicals look like when someone he talks you can read along. And don't ask me if you go up and down or sideways. No, you go down. It's the name of the center where we're all sitting tonight. So I want to welcome you to our class. The study of the Tao with Dr. Alex Fang is in its 12th year. And I think I have just about all returning people, a couple of new people though. So just real quickly, let me share our history with you. Dr. Alex Fang is the son of Elizabeth and Wei-Ren Fang. And Grandmaster Wei-Ren Fang is in the picture over Master Alex Fang's head there, when both of them were a bit younger. And both of them were still on this plane. And Grandmaster Wei-Ren Fang is a Taoist from a long lineage of historians, scholars, and philosophers in the Taoist path. And in China, he began to develop his own interpretation and lessons of the Tao, which he called Jidaoism, the ultimate or the great path or way. And he immersed his son Alex in those teachings, along with the martial arts and the healing practices of traditional Chinese medicine. I think he told me he started at age 6. So he's been at it for a while. And the family came to California in the 60s, and Master Alex Fang started on a path of, it depends which day you're talking to him, if it was law or physics or rocket scientist. He abandoned all of those because he felt called to come to what he calls his roots of Chinese medicine and the Chinese culture of the martial arts and the spiritual aspects of Taoism. So he began teaching his martial arts in the 70s when he was still pretty fresh from high school, and then went on to become a traditional Chinese medicine practitioner, graduating, I think maybe before it was even legal, working with apprenticeships with masters in San Francisco that his father introduced him to. He then went on to build a very successful traditional Chinese medicine practice, as well as his martial arts school, Jidaguan. And I always like to say that all of those were always infused with Taoism. His students began their martial art classes by sitting in meditation and ending their martial art classes that way. And certainly his patients had access to his Taoist influences. And in 1999, Dr. Fang felt that he wanted to be able to share the teachings that his father had initiated and that he had gone on and developed and began to evolve the whole theory of Jidaoism. He wanted to share that with more than his students and his patients, so he began the last Friday of the month, Study the Tao with Dr. Fang. So you're here as part of a history of, it's 12 years old already. It just sort of went like that. Amazing how that happens. And the intent of this study is to give people access to the teachings of the Tao, particularly as expressed through the teachings and learnings of Grandmaster Fang and Dr. Alex Fang, which we, just a little biased, think it's a great way to learn about Taoism. I want to make sure that all of you know, I'm going to put flyers out. Our conference is coming up at the end of October, the 21st to the 23rd, and this is our 8th annual Taoist gathering. And I think that's sort of a brilliant thing that Dr. Fang did when we first started planning this 8 years ago. People said, we should have a conference or a congress. And he said, no, I want it to be a gathering where people gather to learn more and to be exposed to things that otherwise they wouldn't have access to. So he's been very successful in doing that. And there are flyers. It's time to register, so if you want to reserve that weekend to spend gathering with us, now's the time to do that. In terms of introductions tonight, I always read to Dr. Fang on the way over the quotes and poems that I put into the little pamphlet. And when I read him his own, which was, "To be brave is to open your heart," he said to me, "Do you think that's too simple?" And I laughed because I thought, be brave by opening your heart is a very deep thought and a hard thing to do. And I was reminded of some of the news this week, not just the 2.5 million people that are being vacated for Hurricane Irene, but specifically the stepping down of Steve Jobs from Apple for health reasons, and the announcement by Pat Summitt, the women's basketball coach, that she's been diagnosed with early Alzheimer's at the age of 59 and is really struggling to continue to coach her team, but she's insisting on doing it. 2 quick stories about those 2 people. Steve Jobs, in a graduation presentation in 2005, told the students that they were lucky, or maybe not. He was a college dropout. He never finished college. He said, but one of the things I did when I was in college before I left, I sat in as an elective on a Chinese calligraphy course. And he said, I was immersed in it, and I was fascinated by it. He said, I was just thrilled to see the ancient writing, the spacing, the elegance, the beauty of Chinese calligraphy. And he said it always stuck with me. And 10 years later, when I designed the fonts for the Macintosh, I incorporated the principles of Chinese calligraphy. And he said, so it's because a college dropout sat in on a Chinese calligraphy class that all you Mac users, and because, as he says, Microsoft copies the Mac, that we all have pretty fonts that are easy to read, and we have a wide range of them to use. The second story was about Pat Summitt, that when people said to her, you've worked so hard, 38 years of being one of the first women basketball coaches, having to drive her own team's bus to get her girls to their basketball team, being given a difficult time for trying to become a coach in such a male-dominated profession. And I think she said her first coaching job she made $240 a month. So it wasn't easy sailing for her. And now she has Alzheimer's at a very early age, and it's already quite pronounced in terms of her inability to even recall the names of the plays so that she can coach the women that she is championing. And yet what she has done with this is make it a very teachable moment for everybody. She said, I'm going to continue coaching, and I've developed women with me so that if they see I'm struggling to remember a play, they're going to know which one it is. And they'll call out, I'm not a basketball person, but I think she said it was called Kansas, this play. But that she's developed a way to stay in the game, if you will, and also develop and grow the people that she works with. And someone said to her, how can you be so positive? How can you approach it like this? And her response was very Taoist. She said, no matter what life throws you, you can choose your attitude. And I thought, wow. And so those 2 stories really made me think about the bravery that it is required to have an open heart. You can't get a diagnosis and go hide. You can't build a big company and then be depressed because your health no longer lets you lead it. And it reminds me of another saying, I can't remember if I put it in the pamphlet this time. I think I put it in my collection on immortality that we'll be using at the conference. But it was a saying that goes something like this: immortality, it's not what you made yourself to be, but it's the people you touched and what they carry on because you touched them. And so I thought, these are 2 people that really, give us a lesson that capitalizes on that thought. So I made them both Taoist for the day. Pat Summitt and Steve Jobs. Why not? But then speaking to a couple of actual Taoists, Mikey Kidd and Jose Miranda represented us 2 Saturdays ago, speaking at a panel on spiritual paths from different perspectives at Unity Church. We had another commitment and weren't able to go, but they wanted someone to come and speak about Taoism. So Shifu would like Mikey and Jose to share with you a little bit about that experience.
You first, Jose.
He's over at the Ecumenical, I believe it's called, church over, they call it on Holy Hill in Berkeley. Really fascinating discussion. We had 5 panelists. We had Iroquois, West African Ghana, the Taoist, Hindu, and Sufi. That's it. I remember that one. It was amazing listening to all these different points of view and how they're so interconnected. I don't know if the audience picked up on all the little subtleties of it all, but just to be there and see this rather unique thing of all these different faiths coming together and say, wow, okay, there's a whole lot of commonality here. Maybe we shouldn't say my God's better than your God kind of thing. But yeah, it was a really fascinating talk. Is that it?
It's not difficult.
And Jose?
This is, he was out of the room, so this is reference to the panel that you went to.
All about the talk.
Yeah, he went in Berkeley,
It was a good talk. Basically, for me, that I come in like a Catholic background, and just hearing all different people just talk about differences, and I just got my own feeling of it. It's like we're all trying to go in the same spot. That's what I got out of the talk, and everybody was more like open to basically explain their side of it. It wasn't no comparison. It was just, this is what I heard, take it or leave it. That's what I got out of it.
Jose wants to do a presentation.
Should I just stay up there?
Part 2, Jose Miranda.
You want to introduce for the a little bit?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Your experience at now.
Okay. You can tell we rehearsed this, can't you? As you might have noticed in the newsletter that we sent out last night, we featured Jose in our newsletter and how he came to be in our lives. Jose Miranda is a neighborhood guy. He lives here in the Laurel. And when we first got the building, if some of you were here, I think some of you were, you know that it was an old radio shack and had to be totally renovated. And so we spent a year every weekend with students here, tearing down walls and putting walls back up, tearing up floors and putting them back down, painting, all that good stuff. And Jose started hanging out with one of our Kung Fu students, actually, Tom Drew, who was working on the deck upstairs. And I think they began talking about life and how do you get through life. And Tom suggested that he come and speak to Shifu and see about the possibility of lessons. And so, as I said in the little descriptor, Jose has something to share with us about what that was like and why he's still here.
So yeah, the way I basically met the doctor and Charlene, I was going through a difficult time. We went through a divorce. So basically I was going through like, what am I going to do? How am I going to live my life? I basically come from a Catholic background. So I'm wrong. My father to this day is like, your family left you. So he's still blaming you, pointing the finger at me. So at that moment I was looking for some help and I was drinking a lot. I was just basically lost. So I didn't know what to do. So I started hanging around and walk around. I don't know if you guys are familiar with it, across down the street, and I met Drew. And basically, I was tired of the way I was living my life. So he told me one day, whenever you're tired of doing this, just go see the doctor, go talk to Dr. Fang and tell him your situation. I don't have any money. He just basically worked something out. If you could paint, do something. I said, okay. So basically, the next day I thought about it. So I'll give it a try. I came and asked him. And I've been here ever since. And for me, it's like the lessons that he had taught me, I didn't even have a clue what I was going to do with my life. I still kind of don't, but now I know where I'm going. And without these people in my life, I don't know where I would be at right now, basically. And the meditation, the Tai Chi, really helped me realize of the mistakes that I was making. Because all the time I was pointing the finger at other people. Because basically it was me. Of all the problems that I kind of started myself. And I just wanted to share real quick this week, because I was brought up to be always tough. You know, don't show no love. This is the way it is. And basically, just to make a long story short, my ex-wife stayed with my mother-in-law. So basically, the breakup was a big breakup, you know. So we haven't spoken to each other for 10 years, maybe on the phone. We don't really talk that much. So basically, they called me up this Monday, and hey, can you come pick up your kids? You know, we're tired of your kids. Come get your kids. Okay. At that moment, I was angry. Like, oh, okay. So I don't know if my family over there expected me to go over there hostile and be like, hey, what's going on here? And basically be a jerk. Like they're used to me being a jerk. So this time I went over there, and I was angry, so I drove to San Lorenzo, and got there, and kids came out, of course, picked up their clothes, and I saw the mother. I haven't seen my ex-wife in 3-4 years. Been mixed feelings here and there. But when I saw them separate, like my kid and my ex-wife, I thought about what the doctor always tells me, why don't you show some compassion? It just, the words just came into me. I was leaning on the truck and it just came into me. It just, like he always says, let things come, let them go. You know, why hold all this grudge? It's been so many years. So I basically told my ex-wife, which we don't get along, you don't got nowhere to stay, you're welcome to stay at my house. What? Yeah, you're welcome to stay at the house. You can have my room. And that I learned here, where being around kind people. So I learned the kindness. I just wanted to share that. And I also wanted to thank them in public. I really thank you guys for having me here. Thank you.
We don't have to tell you that we love Jose, and you can see why. Jose's also been really just wonderful in supporting the school by physically taking care of it and nurturing it, cleaning it, repairing it, and really cares about it as his own home. So he's very, very special to us. And now I'd like to turn the class over to Dr. Fang for a moment.
Testing, can you hear me? Welcome everyone. Everybody can hear me. Who's new here today? I know those two. You're always new. We have David Wade, who's a great teacher from the Wudang Mountain visiting us, and he will also be at the Taoist conference. And we also have Robin, who also does Qigong and martial art. And I think I'm going to try to talk both of them into teaching the 18 Lohan palm, which is a, you can do 9 each or something, 18, which falls right into the whole aspect of this year's conference theme, which is immortality or longevity, either one. So I hope you guys can participate in through the 18 Lohan and Tom. Lohan is kind of like a siddha, and one who serves the goal of Buddha and the ways of Buddha, And of course, Lohans are immortals. So practicing the 18 Lohanzang gives you a sense of how do you approach the subject matter. Same thing with Tai Chi. What is Tai Chi? Why do people love Tai Chi? Why is it so popular? Tai Chi comes from the word great, ultimate, extreme, and is a Taoist concept and principle. Tai Chi means great awakening. It comes from Wu Chi, nothingness. So having the understanding of nothingness and consciousness leads you to a place of viewing the world in a particular perspective. Tai Chi exercise comes from the same principle. You have Wu Chi, beginning, and then you have beginning Tai Chi. So your whole concept of yin and yang, directions, weight shift, has to do with the principle of Wu Chi and Tai Chi. Fundamental to Taoist teaching. So much of the teaching is so simple and yet so profound. Why do we talk about longevity? What's good with longevity? Is it a value thing? What do you value? Is it good to be immortal? There's a TV show, and they call it Immortal. And then there's another show recently that came out that has to do with vampires and spirit beings and lots of immortals within that. I forgot the name of the show. Does anybody know?
True Blood.
No, Twilight.
True Blood.
What is it?
True Blood.
True Blood. That's it, True Blood. But what it pokes at, what it evokes is ideas and concepts and ways of being. You know, we certainly know people who are vampires. They take all the money you got, take all the love that you have, take everything, leave you bone dry, so to speak. We certainly know fairies of all kinds, with special gifts and abilities. We certainly know people who are like not nice in the world of one side versus the world of the other side. Once again, the world of yin and yang. So some people sort of have this demonic interest. They want to be tough. They want to be loveless. They want to be all of that. And there's the other people who take the extreme. Everything is about love. The whole world, the whole universe is created, sustained by love. So the Taoists say, walk that center path. Yeah, that center path. Between yin and yang. Between yin and yang. So all the practices we talk about evolves around the understanding of this state of being and this perspective, this view. Charlene mentioned this place is called Zhidao Guan. This place is called Zhidao Guan. Guan means view. So it's not just this place, it's your perspective, it's your view, your understanding. Zhi, ultimate. Well, what's so good about ultimate? Is there something less than ultimate? It's just a description. It's a word, as Charlene mentioned, one line on top, one line on the bottom, two symbols in the middle that's different. Meaning differences is defined by open boundaries. Dao, as you know, is a self that moves. And there's a line between the two ears. The line represents two schools of thoughts. The Taoist likes option. One option is harmony of the self that moves or walks in the path of harmony, balance. Zhongyi, everybody knows Zhongyi, right? Zhongyi, Chinese medicine. When you speak with a Chinese doctor, you call them Zhongyi. Yi means medicine, Zhong means center. So a lot of people think Zhongyi means Zhongguo, China, doctor of China. So Zhong actually means that line between yin and yang, that which brings balance. Zhongyi is someone that harmonizes. You didn't know that, did you? Zhongyi is one who walks in the realm of balancing everything. Yin and yang is just differences. Just differences. When you call this yin, and this is yang. When you call this yin, and this is yang. It's just a hand. So don't get confused about yin and yang. Don't let yin and yang confuse you. You know? So in our culture, the culture of Taoist pursuit, you have this understanding of the self. The operative word is the self. It comes from nowhere else except the self. Don't look anyplace else. We say don't look up. We say don't look down. Just look straight ahead. Just look straight ahead. Take that path without differences, without praying or begging. Yeah, without this and that. Good, so good. Bad, so bad. Blame, praise. Yeah? I tell my Qigong students, do your Qigong practice. Do your projection of energy. But don't take the praise or the blame. If someone feels good, great. If they feel bad, great. Two wings of a bird that makes things work. Self-effort and grace. Yeah? This is what my teachers have taught me. Self-effort and grace. You have to want to yourself. This study here is something you have to want. I will not go out and beg you to come. You have to want to do the search yourself and find out what this is. And there are no accidents. When you're drawn to this place, there's no accident, this is happening now like this. It's all meant to be. 道可道非常道. The path that can be talked about is not the path. So we say the self that moves in harmony of yin and yang differences. The other school of thought is the self that moves beyond differences. And so there's one who says, well, I want to harmonize everything, and one says, forget even harmony. Let's go beyond harmony. What exists beyond harmony? It's a question. It's a good question to ask. My youngest daughter is going to school. She's going to Wright Institute studying psychology. And I said, how was it? The introduction. What do you call introduction? The first orientation. How was orientation? She said, I love it. I love it. You walk in, everything's organized. There are chairs for you to sit in. They tell you where the bathroom is. There's water and food in the bag. You get the papers that you need, like your courses. It's extremely well organized. She said, I need someplace that's organized. I don't want it to be too loosey-goosey. It's organized. The administration is very clear. And she said, also the people that are there, they all come from all walks of life, all ages, with all different kinds of professions, and very mature. They've gone through some of this before. And their interest is in this field of psychology. We sit down and we introduce ourselves to each other by a question. The question is, if you want somebody to know you, what is the most important thing they should know about you? So take a moment, we'll do the same exercise. Somebody next to you you haven't met or have met, and ask and tell them, what is the most important thing about you, yourself, that they should know if they want to be with you? As a colleague, as a cohort student, as a comrade in arms, as a seeker, anything. What should they know about you? Well, take a moment, find somebody and just offer that. And it's not something you think about. I ask you to do like hello, and you have to say it. It's called spontaneity. And I'm like, you start. Was it? Perhaps.
Hey. Can you get a piece of yeah, we're going to post it. For real?
Some people here have nobody to talk to.
Oh, okay. Go.
Grab them, please.
Okay, go.
Really hoping you wouldn't say
Someone here has no one to talk to. Someone here has nobody to talk to.
Oh, I could talk to you. Are you going to go right there?
Okay, I'm going.
She said I'm here.
You're very chill. All right. The thing that came up to my mind is
You have 1 minute.
like trying to be, I'll try to be fearless. You know, like I'll try to be really the very, I'll just try to be soft. Never.
10 seconds.
I was like a person standing next to me. I don't even know how to say the word.
Stop. Back to your seat. Who did you talk to?
I forget your name already. Mark.
What you should know about him?
Very creative individual.
It's Mikey, and he said that he's a bull in a china shop. And he also said that he's a master of many trades. Master of many trades. Jack of all trades, a master of none. Something to that effect.
Thank you. Thanks. Anyway.
Okay.
Yes.
This is Tyson, and he said that he was kind. He's very kind person.
And your dar?
Dima.
Dima, and Dima's a singer. Just singer all around. Just loves to sing.
Mariah, it holds kindness as the human being's highest. She thinks being kind is the highest thing you can do as a human being. Yeah.
Nice.
And Alex regards art and creativity and fun as the greatest of human experiences.
Let's not do it all at once.
And Luna comes from a place of kindness, and it's easygoing. Right?
Charlene, she's the person want to
Speak to the whole group so they can hear you.
treat person genuinely, and she also like people to treat her genuinely. Not fake.
Nice.
This is Blake. He was raised in
he feels that he was raised in a system very much like this, and he wants to explore this deeper.
He wants to explore deeper. Okay.
And this is Lennon, and he was thinking very hard and deep as to what he wanted to say with
I didn't answer this question.
You can do it now.
Oh, great.
No
Well,
escapes.
my first reaction was to say that it depends on the person.
I'm talking about you.
I know this, but if the question was, if you want to know me well, yes, certain people are going to be able to know me differently. Not everyone can know me the
Go
same.
look in the mirror and answer yourself.
Answer myself. I want to know myself well.
Yes, I know what you're saying.
I feel things deeply.
There you go. That's it is.
I forget my partner's name. Aura was, she's a seeker of the truth. And I'm Norman. And I'm, let's see, what was I? I'm a collaborator.
You're what?
Collaborate. I collaborate with people and things.
You're a collaborator. You're assist, facilitate.
Assist, facilitate, collaborate.
Collaborate.
She's fearless. She's a perpetual learner.
She's a
perpetual learner.
And he is easygoing.
This is John. John's ambitious.
Taoist.
Ambitious.
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 Ambitious towards what? Anything, everything.
Anything. Overcoming obstacles.
Continuous improvement.
And Cookie Lady back there too. You ever talk to Cookie Lady?
I did not talk with her.
Ask her the same question.
This is Dean. And she is. No. Just about yourself. What would you want people to know?
Just a calm person, not too flighty.
Easygoing,
Relative.
calm. Very good.
Fortunately, I only got to learn that my partner was hard of hearing. And I guess that would mean that I'm patient. That's all we learned.
And about yourself, so if he asked you, you have a chance to
We
answer.
didn't get to
So
that,
just say
but
to
I'm
us.
just patient, I would say.
And David, is that what you said about David?
Didn't get anything. I'm caring. Oh, yes.
Yes,
Sorry.
he did
Putting
say
words
that.
in your mouth.
He did say that.
Excellent, Phil.
This is Najia, my partner, and she loves to smile. She shared a quote, which was really interesting. She says, "Beauty is power, and smile is its sword."
Yes.
Is its sword. Beauty is power, and a smile is its sword.
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 Sword. Sword. Power and sword. Partner.
Did I say that right?
And David.
And this is David, and he likes to ignite passion.
I'm not able to hear. You need to speak to the whole group.
Okay. This is Dawei, and he likes to ignite passion.
Ignite passion.
Wow.
Jose is kind and gentle.
And Robin likes to connect with people, and
And she's also kind. Is that everything?
John loves himself, therefore he loves others.
Is it before and after?
Before and after.
Shirley, right?
Surely.
Shirley. Shirley is compassionate and cares about others.
Excellent. It reveals a lot about who you are and your perspective. Yeah? Your perspective of who you are, but also your interpretation of what is said to you. First you have to get in touch with who you are, the self. The self. In your answers, are you moving? Are you moving in a place of harmony? Yeah? Are you moving in a place of transcendence? Just a question. So this is what my daughter went through in her orientation. She had such a good time. So they also posed a couple of questions which relates to all of this, relates to the realm of knowing. How do you know anything? Is thinking knowing? A priori? Know before you know? What do you know? What do you know? Jose is going to pass out a piece of paper. You're going to write down for sure one thing that you know. This is for you. You have to be very sure that you know this. So you can give a bunch to be passed out, or you can give out one at a time. It's called system. You should have some system, because it helps you organize. Don't get stuck to the system. It's just a system. What do you know? One thing. Those who have not written anything, raise your hand. Do it now. It needs to be spontaneous. And by the way, what I love about humanness is that you can say yes, you can say no. You can change your mind. So for now, it's no big deal. Spontaneous. Be in the presence of yourself. Like you're looking in the mirror, asking yourself the same question. It's all about the self. Self-inquiry. The question is, somebody tell him?
What's one thing that you know for sure? About anything?
Oh my God, you're so talk to me, by the way. Just like this, for hours. Like, huh? Do what I had to do.
I know your pegs are not working.
Write that down. Throw that one away. Okay. Who has not written, raise your hand. Raise
So
something.
this, no?
Do you know for sure? Everybody be on the same page. It's called collective consciousness. If you have a pen that doesn't work, put it on the floor. You can use somebody else's pen. All done? Okay. Second question. What don't you know? Okay. What don't you know? It's a way to search for something. It's a way. It's a way. It's a path. A path for a view. A path for a perspective. A path for an experience. A path of knowledge.
Everyone's is bad. Everyone's at the fire sale. Yes.
Everybody finished? Who hasn't finished? Right here. Go ahead. The next two questions are kind of related in the yin-yang aspect of it. What do you think you know? What do you think you don't know? It's different than the first question. What do you think you know? What do you think?
I think you bought them at the fire sale.
Could be a donation. We always recommend you donate things that work. Don't make your gift a burden. I've always been told. Don't make your gift a burden. This is a real trick question, which you have to really think about. You really have to dive into. What do you really know, but don't know that you know it. What do you know? You already know. You already know, but you don't know that you know it. So you have to search. You have to search because you don't know. Now you have to search.
Can you say the question one more time?
Somebody else?
But don't know now.
But you know that you don't know that you know.
Isn't that wonderful?
How do you know that you
What
know
a
that you
wonderful
have
way to
it?
have life, to explore psychology school.
I already answered that.
The last one was a very tricky question. Even trickier than the one before.
Before that?
Yeah. This one is, what you don't know. You don't know.
What you don't know. What you don't know. What you don't know. That you don't know.
It's ambiguous. Before thoughts. Well, this is the difficult. This is before thoughts. This is before thoughts. This is in the realm of Wuchi. This question belongs in the realm of Wuchi.
You gonna go over the answers afterwards? You gonna go over the answers afterwards?
There's only your answer. Yeah. There's only your answer. That's why you read it for yourself. You don't have to share it if you don't want to. You could. I'll let you do that after class. The last question.
There are two last questions.
Yes.
What do you know, but don't know that you know? What you don't know, you don't know. How could you not have fun? And as you do this, you recognize yourself going into a space of meditation. It is a space of meditation. It is a state of meditation. As you do these exercises, any exercises that we teach you. Because you go to a place where you forget yourself. Which is a major practice in our meditation. It's called Wang Wo. Wang is forget, or is I. forget I, because I is oftentimes defined by I am Alejandro, I am Alexander, I am. Some people call it dementia. Alzheimer's. There are many names for it. Down syndrome. There are many names for it. Psychotic breakdown. Sure, there are many names for that state of being. Therefore, we say, learn management. Learn management. We teach management courses here. Management of your mind, management of your body, management of your breath. It's an exercise. So you're able to straddle many worlds at the same time, like a concert. Yeah? So you're not confused by 2 sounds, 3 sounds, 10 sounds, sound of the universe. You're not confused because you have a way to manage it by understanding the operative state, the state of the self. Don't let yin and yang confuse you. This is a way to get back to yourself. You loop back to yourself. You loop back to yourself. So you're always centered. So all the exercises we introduce is our goal and purpose. That's what the tradition does in every way. Whether you're looking at the stars, trying to understand feng shui, you're going to have a feng shui person talking about feng shui at the conference. It is when you do art, you do creative things like music or painting, how you put things together. We're going to have Dr. Hirsch using art as a medium to talk about immortality. The writings of Lao Tzu, poems of Lao Tzu. We have Ken Cohen, steeped in the tradition of Jnana Yoga. Knowledge. Knowledge. Knowledge as a way to gain understanding of the self, and so on. He will be there. Liu Ming will be there. Liu Ming is a provocateur. He stimulates the other side of your brain. Great orator, a great being. Many others. Robin, David, Mikey, many others will be there. So, Taoist Conference, what is it all about? It's one of the few places you can find people with similar interests and study experiences, willing to sit down and chat to you about your Xinde. Robin has her story about her life, which she will tell you. Not easy. David trained very hard, beat the mystics and stuff like that. You know, cold, mountains. Maybe vegetarian, only food, no beer. Very tough training to gain what they gain. It's a great opportunity to meet these beings and talk about immortality. But that's saying, if we are all immortals here, let's just assume. That's why you're here. There's a gathering of the immortal. Let's just assume that. Would you be different? If you would be different, how would you be different? Let's just say you're immortal. Let's say through incantations and magical spells. You, what now? Yeah? So this is what we do. We look at avenues of studies for ourselves that expands ourselves. And for us fully to be spontaneous, honest, loving, and challenging to ourselves. That's why we do this. In the Taoist culture, I ran out of time. I have this whole lecture for you. You must come back. I was going to talk about, longevity and we call it 仙学. 仙means spirit. And the characters, 人, human, and mountain. Okay? 山, human. 人, 山. Meaning human and mountain have the same nature. It's the nature, the universal nature, natural being, that what makes human a spirit. The word for nature is 自然. 自 means self, 然, let it be. The word for nature, your nature, is 自然, self, let it be. In the midst of that, who are you? I went to give a lecture at UC Berkeley one year to a religion class, philosophy religion class, and I posed the same question, that everything comes from yourself. You have to make that decision about this and that, good and bad, walk the central route. And somebody says, well, if there's no good and bad, there's going to be chaos in this life, in this world. There will be violence in this world. And I looked at him and I said, would you behave this way? Would you have violence? No, of course not. Would you have hate? No, but that's good enough for me. Yes, it's really just that simple. A lot of people think it's complicated. Not that complicated. Keep it simple. Yeah. So I was going to talk about 仙学, because there are studies of this.
Question.
Yes.
So just briefly on what you were just saying, of good and bad and walking the middle path. So if there really is no good and bad, then what's the myth? What is the myth? If there's no clarity.
You figure it out.
Thank you. Josh, darn it, I thought you were going to give me
Sometimes Buddha said to a student, you're too smart for your own good. My father says to me, I said to him, why don't you just tell me? He says, I only want to show you the corner of the table. You have to figure out what the rest of the table looks like. Huh? Well, if the corner is a triangular corner, does it mean all the angles can be triangle? Could it be round in some part? Does it have to be a rectangular table, or a table that looks round or oblong, like that tea table I have in the front made from a tree? If I just show you a corner, I just show you a corner. Yeah? So it isn't about like knowing. We say knowledge goes forever, unless you're immortal. No use to chase after something if you have an end to yourself. Why chase after that? And it doesn't mean don't learn. It doesn't mean don't discern. You know, I like this to eat, I don't like that to eat. Cold is not good for me, hot is not good for me. These are good things to know. It's called relativity. relativity and have some discernment. I'm not asking you to be like, duh. We just say, as Jose says, let's not put judgment and value. Not put value and judgment. Just move and see and look. And at some point, actually, don't see and don't look. Don't hear, don't smell. Don't even think. Yes, it's part of the practice. It's part of the practice. Maybe you'll understand then what thinking and not thinking is, and that becomes the middle path. Yeah? So I was going to talk about, because of the conference this year, about the study of spirit. That's our subject matter. And Taoist culture, how is it addressed? There are many other cultures that address this, by the way. Not only the Taoists. There's a shamanistic conference being held in October.
No, next week.
Next weekend. How time changed so quickly. So if you're interested, talk to Charlene, and maybe some of this stuff can be revealed, because it's a different way of looking at life, different experiences that you seek after, or you learn to tap into. So it's a big world, Taoism. I thoroughly enjoy it. I hope you enjoy it. There's lots to be learned in this field. Spiritual, physical, emotional, mental, psychological, financial, political, martial, yes. Healing, all of it. Viewing, sensing, all of it. So enjoy each other's company, and talk up the storm about this Taoist conference. The reason is very much like my friend Joe Watson, my co-instructor in judo for many, 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 many years, said to the class one day. He says, if you don't support something, one day you look back and it's not there anymore. So, yeah. If you like it, you think there's value for a lot. Manifest. Manifest. Great to have you here. Do we have any questions before we end? I don't answer questions after class. You have a question?
I do. When did you become designated a master? And how did that happen?
What a good question. That's a marvelous question. Let me think back. First of all, be aware what hat you put on yourself and who puts the hat on you. Yeah.
The follow-up question was, when did you feel comfortable with that title?
Yeah, I'm comfortable. That's not the question. The question was, how do you become who you are? Master or not? Yeah? You can call me master, you can call me doctor, you can call me Alejandro, you can call me Sasha, you can call me former Chen, you can call me Ali-san. These are all my names. These are hats that I wear. Yeah? Some people call me Doc Doc because I'm too doctoral. Doc Doc. Some people can't say it. Alex, they call me Alice. A lot of Chinese say Dr. Alice. Some people call me Dr. Alex instead of Dr. Feng. Some people call me Feng. My name is Feng in Chinese, not Feng. So a lot of people know it's Feng Yisheng, Feng Yishi, Feng Daifu, Feng. So these are hats that you put on. That's the first question that you ask. These are all hats. Your name is a hat. Your identification of your name is a hat. Be aware who puts it on. Be aware what you put on your own hat. Feel, what would you like? You know, the yin and yang of the hats. You know? So the question, how does one become who one is? When did I recognize, I am this? So, well, in India they say, I am that. I am this, same thing. This and that, it's the same thing. That's a good question. I don't know how to answer that one. I think along the way I had no choices.
Well, okay, to simplify the question, when did your father refer to you as a master?
My father never referred to me as master.
Okay.
Just his kid.
No, not his master, but a master. And maybe in presenting you to other people, maybe in presenting you to a class.
My father was the one that told me about the hats. Please. Yeah. He did ask me once, on his dying bed, so to speak. He was wearing literally. Did you see him that time, Shirley?
Yeah, I was.
He weighed like 90 pounds, 98 pounds. Not well, dying. And I would visit him. Some of you heard this story before. I would visit him and he would look at me and say, Dad, I'm here. I'm here for you. I'm here. He looked at me without saying hello, son, hello, whatever he called me. He says to me, he says, what have you done for humanity? So I thought maybe one day I'll share that story with all of you. That would be my way of serving humanity. So, out of this is no choice. I was very sick as a young child. Severe asthma, where I literally, missed school 3 to 6 months of the year. And I read this book on Qigong, and I understood. I understood and cured myself of asthma at age 8 or 7. I just knew. Somebody that you read? Yes, I read. No master came and taught you. No, I understood. So we say there are different kinds of teacher. Okay? Jing is a teacher. Written word is Jing, what you wrote down was a teacher. Jing also means path. Jing, Jing, 三字经, Jing. It also means path. So Jing means pathway of knowledge. It can reveal its knowledge to you. Of course, teachers are really important. So have teachers. We all need to have teachers. Somebody who's kind of been there before, seen some things before, and can sort of point the way, There's a tree there, there's a hole here, watch out. George, watch out for the tree. And then, of course, the last teacher is the teacher of Tao. Tao. And interestingly enough, Tao is the self that moves beyond or in harmony of differences. It's the self. So we're back to the same loop, the same circle, the same understanding. Yes.
When in Taoism, when they talk about path, is that a path that you? I guess I've got more of like a two-part question. First part is that a path that you follow that's laid out in front of you, or is it the path that you create as you exist?
First of all, let's not separate they, the Taoists, and you. Yeah.
Us.
Let's start with that.
Okay.
There's no difference. So you can say, I mean, to answer, really nice. Right? It's not about us and them. I've said that to you. There's no accident that you're here. You need to own what's yours. If you don't own it, it's not yours. You need to own your gifts. You need to own your treasures, your jing, your chi, your shen. You need to own these things. You need to be yours. You need to recognize them. And like this is mine, you know. I can have access to this. I can use it. I can play with it. I can merge. I can do things. You have to own your gifts. You have to own your presence here. It's no accident. If you don't think you belong here, out, quick. Run, I will help you. If you belong here, you belong here. Own that. There's no difference between them and us. There's only the self. That's the whole lecture today. There's only the self. The operative word of Tao is the self. You. The path in front of you is what you create. Or is it one that reveals to you? Okay. You can, why not both? We have an exercise in Qigong and Tai Chi class. Very easy exercise. So, who's in the Qigong class? Raise your hand. So could you three demonstrate this technique for those who have never seen it? It's a simple exercise that manifests. And David knows this one because I taught it to him. Aren't you in class? Well, come on, if you're in class, do it. If you're not in class, if you don't know, you don't know. If you know, go out there and show. What have I been talking about? And no talking. That's one of the requests. And change direction. And make a circle. How this is done is called collective consciousness. Nothing is being said, and it's done through connectivity. It's simple, but I went to a very famous school, university, in this area, and I had the students do this exercise. They got so entangled, they could not unwind unless I intervened. This is a very well-known school, by the way. I mean, one of the top in the United States. I want you to know. It's a simple exercise. Perplexity. Simple exercise. Connectivity. It is through connectivity that you understand. Thank you. So the question about this and that, there's no difference. If you're connected. If you're connected. The character for shaman, as you know, two people, heaven and earth, connecting. Two people who can connect heaven and earth, have shamanistic capability. Two people, humans, who are able to connect heaven and earth, who are connected to heaven and earth, have shamanistic qualities or understanding. Let's just assume all of you here are shamans. What now? What do you have to know? Just like that. You search. You search. You become what we call a seeker. Yeah? You look, you search, and you find. Any other questions? Did I answer you? Did I show it?
Going down the right path, I guess.
Say?
Going down the right path, I guess.
Yeah, right path?
Maybe left.
Please. Maybe left, maybe right, maybe upper, maybe lower. Don't let differences confuse you. So easy to do that. as a pattern. So if your thinking starts to change, the bull in the china closet will start to change. The guy from the street will start to change. Change, fundamental changes that happens about your nature, about your connectivity with your spirit. Have tremendous patience. Jose I met like 12 years ago. He left for a while, he came back. Change is not easy. It takes bravery. Bravery. And bravery is
Doing something in your brain.
opening your heart. Any other questions? Yes.
My question was pertaining to the exercises we were doing, and in Tai Chi, I'm trying to conceptualize and learn the looping ideas and like physically looping your energy with yourself and with other people. But the idea of doing that with the concepts in your brain, I was wondering not how to do it, but like, are there, in Tai Chi we have, there's like, we can practice it in physical space. But I was just trying to think about how you could practice that in conceptually or emotionally in your brain or in your heart.
Come to the next Friday night class. This is in the course. This is the curriculum. That's what we teach. How do you enter the field of that? How do you enter the world of thoughts or spirit or experiences? And how do you maneuver in the midst of all of that? What do you have to know so you are free? Yeah, this is the curriculum, this is the practice. Same with Tai Chi. It's a practice. When you get it, you say, oh no, effortless. The other day I was at a Qigong class at Alpha Base Cancer Center, Comprehensive Cancer Center, created by Dr. Mateki. And there's a woman that I knew probably, I would say 25 years, 30 years ago, from Siddha Yoga. And she's a devotee of Guru Mai and a student. And after 25 years not seeing her, I saw her and she had Parkinson's illness. So she could hardly stand still. And we were doing the Qigong exercise, the seaweed, projecting energy, circulating energy. And she didn't move. Just with the wave of energy, three of us that knocked over. Effortless. And you will experience that when you do your Tai Chi practice, when you do your Qigong practice. You will experience tremendous progress effortlessly. No, I'm not like, sure you have to work hard to get there, but what happens is like, oh, I didn't do anything. And so much happens. So much transformation, so much, every level happens. You didn't do anything. Because you're in the zone of practice with the right understanding, with the left understanding, with an understanding that leads you to that path. This is not new stuff, this is ancient stuff. This is not like, I made this up. I made some of this up. A lot of this is grounded for many years of polish and thinking and rethinking and debate and asking questions and experiencing, meditating, finding out in the realm of meditation, what is it? So offer you this opportunity to participate, engage, and fully enjoy this perspective, this view, this practice. And I hope with many, many others in a very short time. Am I asking too much? Good. I always thank people who bring other people. Thank you so much. Because that's how we grow. We're bringing other people. If you like it, you must really like it. You must like this. If you don't like this, you should find something else. And it doesn't mean you should like me. If you can't like me, it's fine. My father always says, follow the principle, follow the principles. Follow the principles. If that makes sense to you and is useful, enjoy it. If it's not your cup of tea, find a different one. This is a very rich culture, filled with wonderful study for yourself. Fulfillment of yourself, your mind, your body, your breath, spirit, on all levels. Continuous learning, somebody said. Any other questions? We shall meditate for a very short time. Take a good posture. My teacher, Guru Maharaj, always said, good posture on the outside reflects good posture on the inside. Good posture on the inside reflects good posture on the outside. Take a good posture. Comfortable. A comfortable posture is always a good posture. Start with the basics. Be comfortable with yourself. Let your breath be long, soft, even, gentle, deep. Long, soft, deep, thin, even, deep. 长, 细, 软, 环, 深, 沉, 长, 软, 细. Make your breath long, 长. Make it gentle and soft, 软. Make it very soft and thin, 细. Make it even, 均. Regulate. Through your whole being, 深, deep. Imagine you have a feather in front of your nose. You should breathe so softly that the feather doesn't flutter much, or it doesn't flutter at all. Calm your heart. In all spirit teaching, there is calm your heart, still your mind. Be comfortable with yourself. Recognize your mind. Recognize your thoughts. Recognize one thought. Hold on to one thought only. Focus. Let that thought go. Continue the focus. Continue the focus with no thoughts. Pay attention. Be cognizant of everything with no thoughts. Calm your heart. Be comfortable with your feelings. Let it come, let it go. Calm your heart. Be at peace. Be kind. Be loving. It's good for your heart. Feel an aliveness. Feel your aliveness within you. That is an amalgamation, a merging of Jing Qi Shen. When you hear a sound of a gong, let it carry you as a vehicle towards yourself. yourself with breath. Gently let it out. Empty yourself, even of breath. Let your breathing be soft, even, long, deep, gentle, and even and soft. Gently open your eyes, come back to this time and space. Treasure yourself. Treasure the gifts that you gained tonight. Some of you had very profound internal transformation. Physical, emotional, psychic, spiritual. Treasure yourself. Just like the exercise you saw of connectivity. Sometimes you lead and you create the path. Sometimes you follow. You let the path show its way for you. You are both. You have the power of both. Thank you for coming. See you again.
Thank you, Shifu. I was going to tell you that usually Shifu stays for a few minutes so you can come and say hello, but I think he gave everything tonight. It's a wonderful class. So we will end by thanking Shannon for filming. So the class will be up on the website, we hope, eventually. Mikey for playing gong, Jose for setting everything up, all of you for coming. We have tea and cookies at the back. And if you want to be on the email list for the newsletter, I'll have it here by the donation basket. Thank you for coming. Hope to see you in September.